My mom's mom came here with my grandfather. Well, they came during the Mexican Revolution when all of that was going on. They came here and they were farm workers. They settled in the town of Brawley, California. And my mom was born there. And then when the Mexican Revolution was kind of over, my grandfather wanted to go back to Mexico, and my grandmother didn't want to go back. So I come from a line of really strong women. My grandmother said, "No, I'm going to stay here with my daughter because this is a better place." My grandmother and my mother were both gardeners. Both of them taught me a lot. My grandmother would pot up little things, and she would have them for sale outside of her fence. And, people would come by. And she had mostly cactuses and things like that. My mom often took us to gardens. We planted a rose for her and buried her ashes under it. And I always sense her presence here. It was just an acre with just blackberries and had no trees because it had just been pastured, and had a few Douglas firs on it, around it. But we just started planting. You can kind of get lost in time. And I just enjoy the 4 seasons of the garden, looking out the window and seeing it change over the 4 seasons. We're fortunate here in Oregon to have the 4 seasons. There's always something that needs to be done in the garden. I think being in the garden is really spiritual. The awakening in spring, seeing things come back. You're happy to see little things come back. That after the winter sleep, then you see things come back. It's always fun to see that. I wasn't very fond of that ice storm that we got. We've never had an ice storm like that. And to hear that cracking of the trees, and it sounded like glass breaking, that was just so eerie. And then to wake up and see all the branches of trees that we'd had we probably had them around for 40 years, and to see them all broken and gone, we had to just get rid of all of those trees that were damaged. I was glad that Roger wasn't here, because it was stuff that he planted, and I knew that he'd be really sad because he always enjoyed his trees, and he had planted so many trees, but it was time for them to go too. Everything has a new life. It just opened up the garden. It opened up my yard to new possibilities, I guess. I've never lived alone. I married at 18 and went from my home to a home with Roger. And so it's been really nice to just be alone and know that any decisions that I make are mine, and I have enjoyed that. The only thing was the ice storm, and even that I was surprised how well I went through that, and making the decision of hiring somebody to get rid of all of that, and it was easier than I thought it would be. And the garden was reassuring. Things came back, and it was nice to be here.
Did you know that it was going to be like that?
No, I didn't, and it's been good.
I wish like every woman could have big periods of their life where they could be alone without having to make that about leaving a man,
Yeah, I know. And I wish that it didn't happen when they were 70, I wish it could be earlier, or for sure. I've always thought that if Roger wasn't here, I would leave immediately and sell the house. And so having COVID made me appreciate this even more, to just be here and settle in and enjoy it. It's wonderful. I've liked it a lot. I feel good living here. And I like being alone. I've just kind of rested in that. It's been really nice.